is Margie Remmers-Davis. I'm the founder and CEO of Acadian Accounting Education, and this is our weekly live stream that we hold inside our Facebook group called the QBO Gym Locker Room. So I've kind of renamed this Locker Room Live. And it is an opportunity for us to get together and practice using QuickBooks Online hands-on. So if you're watching this on YouTube, let me just share my screen. I got to get all the YouTube folks. How do I click? Okay. I got to get all the YouTube folks going. I don't know why when I share my screen, my chat disappears. So I have to like open it right back up. All right. So, oh, and there's me. You don't need to see. Did you see me move that, or is that just for me? I think that's just for me. I think everyone can hear except for you, Ashley, because everyone is replying to things that I'm saying. So I don't think so. You might want to just exit and come back in. I'm not sure. Check your Zoom settings. All right. So we are, as I was saying, this is our live stream that we hold inside our free Facebook group, the QBO Gym Locker Room. The entire purpose of the locker room. The purpose of it is to get you hands-on practice using QuickBooks Online. That's all we do all day, every day. Hands-on practice. So as a member of the locker room, you get a free QBO QuickStart course. If you are in the locker room and you don't know where to get that, find that course. You were like, oh, I got a new course. Oh, by the way, I forgot to ask, who is new on the call? This is their first time on this. I did see somebody post in the group that they were coming and they're like, oh, this is the first one. So anyway, so I would love to know who is brand new, who is the first one. Stacy, excellent, welcome. I'm still figuring out. Francis to Kim, woohoo. All right, so we are delighted to have you here. So anyway, so those of you who are brand new, you want to make sure that you grab your QBO Quick Start course. This course was emailed to you when you joined the locker room. Brenda also, woohoo. So it was emailed to you when you joined the locker room. That's why we asked for your email address when you joined. We sent it. If you cannot find it, always check your spam, junk, promotions, all that. We are really, truly struggling right now with our emails landing in spam, being marked as spam. So if you ever get an email from us, it would be super helpful to just respond to it really quick and tell us that you got it. And also mark it, move it into your regular inbox and mark it as not spam. So those three things: respond, move it into your regular inbox, and mark it as not spam. Those things will really, really help us with our deliverability. So anyway, so free QBO Quick Start email or, course. If you can't find it, if you did all of that, you can't find it, then email us at support@acadian.com and we will look into. It's very possible what happens a lot is people type the wrong email address accidentally, like just a little typo. That's very common. Another thing is that they give us one email address and they're checking a different email address for the course. So that's also very common. So we'll help you. We'll look you up. We'll help you find it, all that good stuff. Also, as a member of the locker room, you have access to over 100 free exercises to help you to help you practice QBO like on your own, working through it. So the place you find it, guess what? We emailed it to you, but also you can find it in the locker room. If you go to the featured section, so you click, so there's a tab here that says featured, but you should also see oh, that's good. Great news, guys. I'm using up too much. How do I stop this? There we go. I'm using up too much bandwidth. Okay, so I'm sharing the Facebook page. I'm on the right one. Okay, good. So here is this tile that says featured. And so here, right here is a post that says, welcome to the locker room, over 100 free hands-on exercises. So that post is where you find the link to the 100 free exercises. Also, guess what? It was emailed to you. So like in your welcome post, in your welcome message, it's like, here's how you access your courses, and here's how you get to the free exercises, and like all that like good stuff. So yeah, so make sure that you're getting our emails. Okay. So, and then also as a member of the locker room, you get to participate in this live stream, Locker Room Live, which we hold every Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern. Only members of the locker room get to participate. And while if you attend live, then you get a free exercise of the week. Now, everything that I've been talking about so far up to this point, free, 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 free join the locker room, free QuickStart course, free exercises, free live stream, all free, free, free. But we do have a paid product called the QBO Gym Locker Room. I'm sorry, called the QBO Gym. And the QBO Gym is a paid product. It's hands-on practice for, like, this is what we do all day. Hands-on practice using QuickBooks Online. But the exercises that are free are just like one-off exercises. Like, here's how you do this one thing, okay? But the QBO Gym is it's also exercises, but it's in context. It gives you the opportunity to actually be a bookkeeper for a fictitious business owner. And so you get an entire year's worth of experience. It's really for all of you who say, oh, I can't get a job without experience, but I can't get experience without a job. It's for, if you've ever said, I wish I could be an intern, or I wish I could shadow someone, or I'm interested in the gym, or I'm sorry, I'm interested in bookkeeping, but what's it really like? Like, what is a day-to-day? Well, this tells you, like, this is the point of the gym, is to give you experience. You get to be, it doesn't take an entire year for you to finish. It only takes about 42 real-time hours. So there's 12 months of content that each month takes about 3 to 4 hours to complete. It's just like having a real client. Like, that's what you do. And you get to be the bookkeeper. You process the bank feed transactions. You send invoices. Throughout the year, all sorts of things happen to Craig, the fictitious business owner, that you then have to record. So, so probably my favorite issue is the one where he gets a job clearing with a wedding planner, and he has to do landscaping for these 2 different weddings. And then he wants to compare his profitability on these 2 jobs. So you learn how to, do all of that stuff. So, Deborah is asking, are the exercises chronological? But I think that, Deborah, you were asking me before I was talking about the gym, and you were just talking about the free exercises. Chronological is a tough word, because I don't know that it has to do with like time. The free exercises, like I said, are just one-off, and they're feature-based. So we're going to actually go over one today, so you'll be able to see exactly what it's like. But it's just here's a scenario, here's how you handle it. Whereas the gym is you're actually the bookkeeper, and you are handling everything in a year's worth of work with Craig, the fictitious business owner. Now, everything that you do in the gym is linked to Booksmatch. Booksmatch is our proprietary dashboard. Everybody has books. Everybody that has any course of ours, including the free courses, has Booksmatch. It's how you get to your courses. So if this were your dashboard, there's like a go to my courses button instead of this contact me button. But if you also have the gym, then we track all of your statistics and all of the things that you are doing as you are working through the gym, and as you are upskilling yourself. And so we have all of every exercise that you do is tracked with skills. We divide them up into these 10 skill groups. You can see, if you can drill down on something and see how well you're doing, you can see how you compare with others in the group. And we use these three, what do I call them? KPIs. They're in, I don't know, I don't have a brain. Somebody help me. What do we call them? Anyway, these three indicators, these three tracking things, metrics. Thank you, Lindsay. These three metrics to help rank you. And the most important of these metrics is your consistency. So we actually developed this in conjunction with a recruiter, and she said to us that her number one frustration with recruiting was reaching out to people who already had a job, who weren't looking for work. And so she actually wanted us to build in like a little check thing. She's like, I want you to send a message every week that says, are you still looking? Are you still looking? Are you still looking? And we said, that seems a little excessive. We're going to make it every 2 weeks. And instead of just a little checkbox, we're actually going to make them upskill every single week. So that's why we have the exercise of the week. The exercise of the week is actually a separate course that you unlock when you're in the QBO gym. So it was originally designed for people who finished the whole gym. There is 2 years worth of content there. I just talked about the first year, but there's 2 years of, you can be the bookkeeper for 2 years as you're working with Craig. And then you're done. So then how do you keep your consistency high? So we were going to unlock it after everyone's done, but people love the exercise of the week. So we said, okay, well, we unlock it after you have reached 250 points. The 250 points is not related to skill points here, but instead, when you're working in the gym, it's all gamified. So there's bells and whistles and ka-chings. We had one student, I can't remember who it was, I don't know if you're on the call today, who said that it's like being at a casino. It's like, no, she said it's like winning at a casino. It's like winning at a casino because you're like doing the things and you get, bells and whistles and ka-chings and woohoos and all of this stuff. And you're earning points. And you have at the bottom this little drawer where you can click to see what your current points are. Once you have 250 points, then the exercise of the week unlocks. People ask me, can I go back to previous exercises of the week? Absolutely, you can. Once it's unlocked, it's all there. Let's see. I think that's everything that I wanted to talk about. Okay. So that's why we have our exercise of the week, to keep our consistency high. So today we are going to work on this exercise of the week. Today looks like it is week 11. And so we're going to click. So Joel's going to put in the chat, for those of you who do not have the exercise, for those of you who do not have the gym, or who have the gym, but it's not unlocked yet, Joel's going to put it in the chat. If you do have the gym and it's unlocked, make sure that you use the link that's right here that I'm about to click. Make sure you use that link because that's the only way you get your skill points in Booksmatch. The link that's in the chat is not connected. Okay. So So that's in there. So we're going to go ahead and talk about this. Now, this exercise today we're going to be talking about something that is tested on the Level 1 Pro Advisor certification exam. Okay, so for those of you who are studying for that exam, this is a topic that you need to know. So pay attention. If you don't know anything about the Pro Advisor certification, Joel, will you put in the link? We have a free ebook that talks about it's not us, it's Intuit, but Intuit, the makers of QBO, have a certification program where you can get a Pro Advisor badge, which basically says there's level 1, level 2, and they offer one for payroll. And they basically certify you, give you a badge to say, oh, yes, you're official and you know about QuickBooks Online. So if you'd like to know more about that program, we put together a document on how to get certified, how the certification program works, how to navigate the Pro Advisor Academy, like all of that good stuff. So Joel, if you would put that everything doc in the chat, that would be great. So those of you who don't know about that. All right, so let's go ahead and work through our exercise. Okay, so we're going to learn about customizing the products and services list. So we're going to go over this exercise, but I'm going to go a little bit deeper because that's what I do, because I am extra and I don't like to do things at a surface level. Like, I like to go deep. I want to make sure that you guys fully understand what is happening and how this works. So we're going to go beyond what the exercise is, beyond what you actually need to know for the exam, but that's how I roll. Okay. This link is not correct. It has 2 Ks. Oops. Thanks, Uyi. Joel, could you fix that? That's my bad. I'm the one that gave him the link. All right. Message has been deleted. I guess Joel deleted the wrong one. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with this exercise. Here is our scenario. Craig mentioned that he wishes his products and services list in QBO was different. There are things displayed that he doesn't care about, but the information he wants to see isn't there. Take a look at how you can customize the products and services table for Craig's purposes. Okay, so this is what you have to do. This is what you have to know for the test, is how to customize this table. Okay, so we are going to start in the sample company. Now there are all of our exercises are done in the sample company, and that everything doc, which Esther. So I just have to stop and read this. I wish I could display this on the screen. Somebody teach me how to do this. Esther says, I never met Margie, but I just love her personality and her love for helping us grow our businesses and be successful. Aw, I do. I do. I do really want you to be successful. That is true. Okay. So what was I saying? Oh, so the everything doc that Joel posted, and it's in there, is teaches you also about the sample company. Also, that free QBO QuickStart course that you get when you're part of the locker room, you also get, it also teaches you about the sample company. So there are 3 versions of the sample company, and we are going to be using the accountant's version. Although you don't have to be an accountant to do what I'm going to be showing you. Anyway, to get to the sample company, when you're logged into your QBOA account, you can click the gear icon and then select sample company, or we created this little quick link that you see here, which is, it's not fastandeasyqbo.com QBA. Who wrote that? It's Acadian.com. Lindsay, could you change that when you get a chance? Because I know you're on the call and I know you have the power. All right. So anyway, it's the same place, but Fast and Easy QBO is our old name. We have had our new name for like 6 months now. So, all right. So here we are in the sample company. I'm going to go back to my exercise. So now we can start the exercise. Okay. First, we're going to navigate to the products and services list, which we have a little picture here. But I want to point out that right here on the screen, you'll see I have this little thing that says guide me, okay? We create all of our exercises using a software called Scribe. And Scribe has a Google Chrome plugin that you can get if you're using Google Chrome. Oh, Lindsay, it is right here, starting the sample company. It says Fast and Easy QBO. It should say Acadian. All right, so what was I saying? Okay, so Scribe has this free Google Chrome extension that you can plug in if you're using Google Chrome. And if you go to your Chrome web store, you're looking for a plugin called Scribe right here. And then if you install it, you will see that little guide me button. It shows up on usually the first white button. Okay, so here, this one's green, green, green. There's also red sometimes. This one is white, and so it says guide me. Now, if I have the sample company open and I have the Google Chrome extension installed, then when I click guide me, and then I'll click confirm, magic happens. And we have both the sample company and the exercise right next to each other side by side. It's very cool. Joel has put in the chat a link to a Scribe that tells you how to actually install that. So grab that if you need it, okay? Because it will save. And look at this. Lindsay is on the ball. Look, it's changed already to Acadian.com. Okay. All right. So the first thing that we're going to do is navigate to the products and services list. Have I been talking so long that you forgot even what this exercise is? There's lots of ways to get to the products and services list. This is just one way, gear icon and then products and services. I'm going to go back and read the scenario because I've been talking so much, okay? So here's our scenario. Craig mentioned that he wishes his products and services list in QBO was different. There are things displayed that he doesn't care about, but the information he wants to see isn't there. Take a look at how you can customize the products and services table for Craig's purposes. And again, this is a topic that those of you who are studying for the level 1 pro exam, like this is a thing you have to know, okay? So I am just going to close the left now. I'm going to click this button here, close that button, so we have more room here. And this is, so I'm on products and services. This is my products and services list. And this is what we're talking about. This is the table, okay? And we have these columns, and we can change what we see on these columns, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to remove the columns that say taxable and the one that says sales description. And then we're going to add the expense account and the income account, okay? So notice it says click the small gear icon for settings. Now, previously we used the big gear icon, which is up here, okay? This we're very familiar with probably, account and settings, products and services. That's how we got to it. If we were in our account, we would see sample company right here. Okay, so we use this one a lot. But whenever you're in a table, which like this, there's a little one. Now, most QBO trainers call that the baby gear. In our exercise here, we called it the small gear. But anyway, this one right here, this little one, we're going to click that. And here is where you can control lots of things. You can control what you want to see on the table. And with these little check marks, you can see how many rows you want to see, whether you want it grouped by category or not. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to click show more because it doesn't have all the available columns. And look at that. These are all of the ones that are currently showing. Okay. So we are going to we decided in this exercise that we did not want to see taxable. So we're going to uncheck taxable. And we're going to uncheck sales description. So, oh, I started to point to it with my finger. You guys can't see when I do that. See, it just feels to me like you're right here in the room with me. Okay, so, so here's that sales description. Okay, and so when I uncheck it, boom, it disappears. Okay, and then I can add, so we want to add, and this, by the way, is a best practice for you as bookkeepers. Have to show the income and expense accounts on this table is very, very helpful. In fact, I know one trainer who, like, that's just like one of the things on her list that every new client she gets, she goes and checks, check, and this is one of the things that she does, okay, is adds the income account and the expense account. Now, you might be looking at that and thinking, well, how is that helpful? That's so tiny. So luckily, we can fix that. So I'm going to click the gear icon again, so it closes that up. And here we have, now you can see the updated columns, but they are way too small. Let's fix that. We can click and drag the column lines until the size is appropriate for the content. Okay, so I can just draw that, make the income account bigger, make the expense account bigger. Okay. All right, so nice. All right, so that's the exercise. Those are the things that you need to know for the test. But because I'm extra, we're going to go deeper. All right. Uyi says, I'm excited about today's exercise. I was working on a client's diagnostic review, and the products and services list had 250 plus. Oh my gosh. Items and inventory settings were not turned on to even use the inventory evaluation report. Oh my gosh. And I hope that they had like QBO Plus or Advanced so that they had inventory, they just weren't using it. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, we're not going to do too much cleanup here because we do have other exercises. We do have other exercises that do that. There's one particular thing that I want to cover, and that is these income and expense accounts. So I'm going to close the exercise now. Now we're done. Now Margie's just riffing, okay? And I want to talk about the income and expense account, okay? Now, first of all, why do some of these things have an income account and no expense account? Why don't some of them have expense accounts? I will wait for you to put it in the chat. Chris says, I love that you go deeper on each topic. I learned so much from all the foundational info you cover. Aw, thanks, Chris. All right, I will wait. Okay, Uyi says they may be service-related items. Okay, Julie has got it. Okay, Wait a minute. No, Julie has not got it. That's the opposite of what we're saying. Okay, so Uyi says they may be service-related items. That could be true, but that's not fully the answer to the question. Julie says some are not products sold, some are services. That's not quite right either. Kim says inventory. Okay, that's getting there. Lindsay says, are they inventory assets? Tara says COGS. Remind us of debits and credits. I was not planning on doing that. Avalinda? Is that how you say it? I was not planning on doing that today. Well, a little bit. A little bit. We'll go into it a little bit. So I'm still waiting for somebody to tell me why a product or service would not have an expense account listed. I'm saying that is the purpose of seeing income and expense. Okay, bingo! Julie, yes, the item is not purchased. You see, the thing about the products and services list is it is primarily used, it is like 90% used for the things that you sell, okay? So when you sell a product, you need to keep track of the sales of that product in an account. That's what the income account is. The income account is a tabulation of everything that you've sold for that type of thing, okay? You only have to have the expense account listed if it's a thing that you buy from somebody else. Okay, so let's take a look at this. So we have, all right, so we have design services. Let's see, is going to, okay, design, the product name is design. The income account is called design income. Let's see what else we have. We have concrete is a service. Why is that a service? Are we laying maybe it's the service of laying a concrete and not the actual concrete itself? And yet it's here for job materials. I don't know. This is all messed up. And if you're in the cleanup course or if you're in the gym, then like there's a whole issue about cleaning up, like cleaning up the file. And so we go into like cleaning up the products and services. Speaking of cleanup, I know a lot of you got double emails, and I apologize for that. But we do have a special workshop coming up next week, next Thursday night. I want to say it's 7 o'clock Eastern time. And Joel, if you could put that in the chat. Oh, Lindsay's got it. Yep. 7 o'clock Eastern time. We have a cleanup workshop coming up. So if you do not have the cleanup course, I mean, if you have the cleanup course, you can come too. But Corey is going to be Corey is our content creator for the cleanup course. And she is, so she developed this amazing cleanup course. Just like everything at Acadian, we are all about hands-on practice. So we are the only cleanup course on the planet that you actually get to clean up books during the course. Okay, so the course has something like 44 hands-on exercises. So she teaches a concept and then you actually get to do it. And then she teaches a concept and then you actually get to do it again. I mean, do that concept. And then at the end, there's a final project. So you're actually cleaning up an actual messy set of books using her, instruction and principles and all that stuff. So She's going to be teaching on Thursday. She's going to be teaching about like her method for how she does that, how she closes 90% of, it's like not even 90, it's higher than that. Like how she closes really expensive cleanup jobs, and how she demonstrates her value. If you're in the cleanup course, I think that it's still valuable for you to come because she's going to be talking more in depth about that, about the uh, results of the diagnostic review. Like that's really the key, is not just doing, here I am so tiny, I should stop my share. Like on my screen, it thinks it anyway. She So what I'm saying is that in the course she teaches how to do the diagnostic review and how to share what you've learned with the client, like the tools that she uses to do that. But she's going to be talking about a specific way to convey that material, convey that information that she hasn't really shared before. And I've looked at like the pre-materials and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is gonna blow your mind. So anyway, and then she's gonna teach you how she goes through. One of the key things about her methodology is that she has a rhythm, which I'm always in my life striving for rhythm. A lot of people try and do cleanups and they're like, oh, I'm going to clean up this thing over here and then this thing over here and then this thing over here. And then they miss stuff or they have to duplicate, they have to go back. And so what she teaches you is a very specific methodology, a very specific like order to do things in, because, she's like, well, don't do this first because this other thing will affect that. So anyway, so yeah, so the cleanup workshop is coming up next Thursday. And another email I received alluded to an announcement for completing cleanup in half the time would follow. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. So yeah, Lisa's asking a question. Another email I received mine on Wednesday alluded to an announcement for completing cleanup in half the time would follow a day later. No other email came. When I inquired, I was told it's on his way. Could you touch on this? I don't know. I didn't write the emails, even though they look like they came from me. So I don't know what's scheduled to come. The point of saying that, doing it in half the time, it's the reason we kept the name Fast and Easy it's a Fast and Easy QBO cleanup, is because of Corey's methodology that I just described, is that she teaches you how to, like, the order to do things in, so that this doesn't, like she'll say like, well, you don't want to do this next because that will affect this other thing. If you wait until the end, then then you don't have to duplicate or circle back and like that kind of stuff. So um Esther says the order is time saving and just makes sense. Okay. June says the second email did come, so check spam. So I don't know what to do about that. But anyway, I need to get back to talking about, like, I got distracted because we were talking about how messy the this products and services list is. So, so anyway, my point is every product that you sell is connected to an income account. And every product that you buy is connected to an expense account. If it's if it's an inventory product that you buy, that expense account is good COGS, cost of goods sold. But here's one, soil, so apparently we can buy this, and then when we do, it's tracked to this account. Okay, so the income account and the expense account show up on, oh, I forgot I lost my chat again. There we go. Um, okay. Brenda is asking, she says, I've been curious about this course, but I wasn't sure if I should purchase just yet because I am starting the bookkeeping accelerator course. I have no prior experience with QBO. Your thoughts? Okay. You can purchase the cleanup course, and I recommend that you do because I don't know, there's going to be some kind of sale on Thursday. So that's going to be like some kind of super duper like low price and bonuses and like all of that stuff. And Corey just keeps making it more and more valuable by the way. She's actually added a whole new module. I don't know, I guess that gets released on Thursday. I don't know. But and this module has to do with like how to do the books on a monthly basis so that they don't get messy like they were. Anyway, so definitely don't take the cleanup course is an advanced course. You don't want to take the cleanup course until you have that foundation of, I'm still tiny. I keep forgetting. Um, you definitely don't want to take the cleanup course until you've gone through the accelerator and have like built that foundation so you understand how things are connected. Which, if I ever get back to my exercise, that's what we're going to talk about how things are connected. But I want to answer your questions. So, so you definitely don't want to take the cleanup course until you have finished the accelerator, but it would not be a bad idea. In fact, it would be a very good idea to buy the accelerator while it is the price that it is, because the price is just going to go up. So hopefully that answers your question. Speaking of the accelerator, if you got my email, the newsletter this morning, which if you did get the newsletter, again, like make sure that you're getting our emails, that you're responding, that you're like marking us not spam, that you're putting us in the right place so that the, email gods don't hate us. But we have learned that the term bookkeeping accelerator is trademarked. It's not actually, that phrase particularly is not trademarked, but it's similar enough that it would cause confusion. And so we actually have to change the name of the accelerator. And so I am soliciting ideas. Like we do have an idea that we're bouncing around, but I would love to hear your ideas. Not a ChatGPT list. Trust me, we have already done ChatGPT. We've already done Perplexity. Like we are looking for human ideas. So if you have a human idea, or if you would like to vote on the one that we've come up with that I put in the newsletter, then, respond. All right. Okay. Shall we get back to the exercise? All right, let's see. I've got to share my screen again. Click that. Then I have to open up the chat again because it disappears. Okay, so we are talking about this income and expense account. So when you buy a thing, it shows up when you sell a thing, it shows up in the income account. When you sell a thing, it goes in the expense account, and that shows up on what report? You guys should all know this. All know what report I can check to see these income and expense accounts. Thank you. Profit and loss, P&L, also known as the income statement. So if I go to reports, standard reports, everybody notice this new like drop down thing? It used to be that, so here's all these left navigation bars, they all have these like pop-up menus. And it used to be until like 2 weeks ago, everybody had one except for reports. And for years, I have been saying, why? Why does reports not have an extra pop-up menu like everything else? And I guess they heard me after all these years. So anyway, so here I am in the profit and loss. Okay, and here is all of the accounts that we just saw that are connected to those things. Okay, and then we have our expenses accounts. okay? The things that we bought. All right, so let's see this in action. I'm going to go back actually to the products and services list because I really want you to see. All right, so we have this one. The product name is Design. It is a service and the income account is Design Income. So let's create a sales receipt. So I'm going to create a sales receipt. Who should we sell this to? Let's go to the bottom of the list. We never go to the bottom. All right, let's do Wisecop Consulting. And we are going to sell them some design, okay? Now, notice it says design. The reason it has it twice is the first design is actually the category of the product or service. And then the second one is the actual name of the product. And then custom design right here is the description that's in the product and service. Okay, so if I sell this, and I'm going to make this like a ridiculous number so that it really stands out on the report. Okay, all right. So now let's go ahead. Somebody asked me for debits and credits. So we'll just save this and look at the debits and credits. All right. So what should I see? I'm not going to go through the whole explanation today. If you need the whole explanation, I think that I think I have on the schedule to do a YouTube video specifically about the debits and credits. And last week for sure, I did the full debits and credits. Okay. So we're going to think about what are we going to see when I pull up the transaction journal. We're going to see what is debited and what is credited. Okay. So I have 707. You can just say sevens, whatever. What's going to be debited and what's going to be credited? Undeposited funds is debited. Okay. So undeposited funds is where the money went. Undeposited funds is an asset, right? Assets live on the left side. They live on the debit side. And so when you increase them, they go further to the left. Okay? So it's undeposited funds is going to be debited. And then as Uyi says, whatever the income account that is attached to this product is going to be credited. Okay, so we have the acronym dealer, DEA, distributions, expenses, and assets are on the left side. So that's the asset the undeposited funds is in. On the right-hand side, we have LER, which is liabilities, equity, and revenue. So this is revenue. This is income, is revenue. So that's going to be on the right-hand side. So Uyi is correct. So let's take a look. We're going to look at the transaction journal. Okay. So we have undeposited funds is debited on the left-hand side, and the account, this is the income account right here, design income, that's the one that is attached to that product. Okay, so exactly correct. So if I'm going to go back to my reports. Go back to my profit and loss. Wow, look at all this design income. Here's the design income that came in, the money that came in. Where is the debit? So this account was credited. Where is the debit? Balance sheet. Oh my gosh. Ooh, you are on, Brenda. Good job. You guys are on fire. So yeah, so it was added to this income account, and it was added to this income account because that's what we have it set up um, in the products and services list, and it came out, and it also went into undeposited funds. So we'll go back to the balance sheet. And undeposited funds, there is our huge number right there. Okay. And let's go back to products and services list. Okay. And it is design income. Okay. So that's why that particular account was added to. Let's do one for concrete and let's see it added to landscaping, whatever this is, landscaping services. I can make it bigger. Good grief. Good grief. Landscaping services, job materials, fountains, and gardens, I think it says. Okay, so let's sell some concrete. So I'm going to go to should we do an invoice today? No, let's do a sales receipt. And we'll go to the bottom, wedding planning by Whitney. My new favorite person, because I decided if I was going to start, you've heard me say that if I were to do bookkeeping all over again, I would do food trucks. That's like, because then every time you go to a food truck, you can write it off. um, but after was it last week? We did an exercise all about wedding planning by Whitney. And I was like, that would also be a really fun bookkeeping job, that if to just specialize in bookkeeping for wedding planners. That would be another one. Okay, so what do we sell? We're going to sell Whitney some concrete. There it is, concrete for fountain installation. Let's make this one $8 million. Just so, oh, it's not millions. Is that, oh no, that is millions. It's almost $1 billion. That's some expensive concrete right there. All right. So, and let's deposit it instead of to undeposited funds. Let's go ahead and deposit it directly to the checking account. All right. So we're going to save it. I'm not going to quiz you again because this is going to be just like it was last time. Okay. So we're depositing it to the checking account. The checking account is an asset. It lives on the left-hand side. When it increases on the left-hand side. Okay. And then the concrete, okay, so here we have a sub product that I guess was set up. So the category, design, fountains, and then the actual product is concrete. And so whatever, I should have written it down. What was the income account that this was connected to? Something like job materials, fountains and gardens, something like that. We'll see it. Lynette says, that is brilliant. I just passed my favorite food truck this morning. They are out again after the winter, but didn't have time. They won a grant for a brick and mortar location. I should approach them. You totally should. And Lynette, if you are interested in restaurants, actually, if anybody is interested in restaurants, I would love to hear from you. For reasons I am not at liberty to quite yet disclose. But yeah, if you're interested in restaurants, write to me at support@acadian.com and say, you know, when you see it says Margie said to tell her that I'm interested in restaurants, and then they'll forward it to me. Okay. So, oh, Tracy's got our concrete income account, landscaping services, job materials, fountains, and garden lighting. That is a ridiculously long account. I would never actually accept that. But anyway, all right. So we're going to see a credit to that ridiculously long account, and we're going to see a debit to the checking account. All right. Did I save it already? We'll save it. Okay. And then I'm going to click more, and I'm going to click transaction journal. Is anyone still confused as to why, even though money came in to the checking account, we're still saying the checking account was debited? Because in normal life, when you say it was debited, it sounds like money's coming out of the checking account. But in accounting speak, when we say that the checking account was debited, we're actually putting more money in that account. Is anyone still confused about that? Okay. What is this? Nonsense. I have to click refresh report. Sometimes that happens. That messes me up big time. Yeah, exactly. That's why we need that's why you need the accelerator. Everyone needs the accelerator. Oh, this is interesting. I didn't even pay attention to this. So, so we have, look at this. It's not that 888 million. It is more than that. Why? Because of sales tax. I didn't even pay attention that that had sales tax. So now we have sales tax. What kind of an account is what this a board of equalization payable? That is the entity that we have to pay the sales tax to. We're going to hold on to it in a liability account. Yes. Was that what I starting to ask? Was that what kind of an account is that? It's a liability account. Why is it a liability account? Why is sales tax a liability account? Liability means, yes, Brenda, good job. Alphonse, good. Exactly. Lindsay says because you hold it until you pay it. Here's the thing about sales tax is that the business is not the one, when they sell stuff, the business is not the one paying the sales tax. When you sell stuff, it is your customer that pays the sales tax, but it is the business's responsibility to collect the sales tax and then pass it on. So this money is coming in, it's sitting now in this liability account, and then you're going to pay the sales tax, and that will come out of that liability account. Okay. So here's credited this account, this product, we just sold it. So this amount, this account, this is the money that is credited to that account. Then part of it goes to this liability account. And then this goes to the checking account. All right, let's go through this real quick. We're gonna do an expense next, but I want to go through. What kind of account is the checking account? Asset, good job. What kind of account and what report does the asset account show up on? Balance sheet. Good job. So now this money is going to go into this crazy account. What kind of account is this? This crazy landscaping services, job materials, fountains, garden lighting, that whole thing is an income account. And what kind of account, what kind of report does it show up on? P&L. Excellent. This last one we've already decided is a liability account. What report does the liability account show up on? Balance sheet. Good job. So we should see all of these numbers. Let's look. We've got two of them that are on the balance sheet. Let's take a look at the balance sheet. Balance sheet. Woo, Craig is rich. All right, look at all this money in his checking account. Okay, so that's the checking account. And then we have the liability. Okay, so the liability and the checking account. Now we have to hop over to the P&L. profit and loss. And look, here is this job materials, fountains, and garden lighting, where he's got $88 million because that's how expensive the concrete was. Okay? All right. We'll do one more. We're going to do an expense and see how that's different. Now, when we do an expense, I'm just wondering if I need to check my, I need to go back to the products and services real quick and find one that's not inventory. I know there's one here. Soil. Okay. So we're going to buy some soil. Now, remember, so this is an expense. We're now buying. Okay. Everything we've done so far is selling. So it's reflected in the income account. Now we're going to buy and it's going to be reflected in the expense account. Okay. So I'm going to create an expense. All right. Who did we pay? Let's say, EDD. I don't know who that is. All right. So we're going to pay EDD out of our almost $1 billion in that account. And you'll notice that on the expense, there are two different sections. The first section, the category details, is pulls directly from the chart of accounts. So when I buy this thing, whatever I'm buying, okay, when I buy this thing, the amount is going to be added to the whatever expense account I select here. Okay, so if I can look, here's all the expense accounts that are set up. Bum, bum, bum. All these here, let's select this one. No, I don't want to use the fountain garden lighting. I'm going to use decks and patios. Okay, and I'm going to say I bought something for a huge amount of money with twos. Okay. So 222 million. And you realize that I'm just doing this so that it stands out on the report. Hopefully you guys get that. Okay. So that pulled directly from the chart of accounts. On the item details list, it pulls from that products and services list. Why would we want to do that? Why would we want to pull from the products and services list versus just pulling directly from the chart of accounts? So for example, I mean, by doing it, going through the products and services, it's kind of like an extra step. You know, I'm gonna buy some soil. All right. And we're gonna say, we're gonna use 4s for the soil. Okay. But why would I do that versus just doing the category that we know that soil is attached to? Brenda, Francis, Lindsay, Tara all said inventory. Yes, but why? Inventory is only half the answer, but even if inventory is the answer, what does having inventory do? Like, if it's an inventory product, what do we get to do? What do we get to track? You have to keep track of costs, good. COGS, keep track of what you're selling. COGS, yes. Keeps track of how much you have on hand. There we go, Kim. Thank you. Yes. And Tracy said inventory asset. Yes. So the thing that you're tracking with inventory is the quantity, which is the number of those items that you have, and the value of your the amount of money that you have in that stash. Why was the COGS account not showing the cost of the concrete? We haven't looked at the COGS account, so I don't quite understand your question, Debbie. The products and services list will show, but we haven't looked, we haven't sold, uh, we didn't sell an inventory product. When we sold the products before, did we sell, I don't remember what we sold. I don't think we sold an inventory product. Yeah, that was a service. Okay. So, yes, so inventory products, you sell the quantity and you get to sell and you get to keep track of the total value of what you have at any given time. But the item details grid here is not just for inventory products, it's also for non-inventory products. Okay, so I'm just going to give you the answer for this one because it's kind of tricky. I don't want to like, I don't want you to think, have to like, I don't want to torture you too much. So if you don't care to know how much you have at any given time, but you do care to track how much you have bought and sold, then you would use a non-inventory product. Okay. So the thing about inventory is really tracking how much you have at any given time, both in quantity and in value. With non-inventory, it's not about how much you have at the given time, but it is about how much you have bought and sold. Make it a non-inventory item. I changed it on the products and services list to non-inventory from service. I don't know what you're talking about there, Francis, but good. Okay. So now let's take a look at our transaction journal. Okay. And I'm not going to make you guess at what the transaction journal shows. We're just going to look at it and then we're going to make sense of it. So more and then transaction journal. Okay. All right. So here we have, this is the huge amount of money that got put in our checking account, or no, that got taken out of our checking account. That's right. This is an expense. So this is an expense. So it came out of our checking account. The checking account is an asset which lives on the left. So when you add money to it, okay, or I'm sorry, when you take money out of it, when you take money out of your checking account, there's less of it, and that means it's going to the right. I don't know if we'll cover debits and credits next week, but we'll for sure probably do it again the week after. All right. So, checking was credited because we just paid this huge amount of money. And then we have these two accounts. One of them, can I make this bigger? Yes. Okay. So one of them, this one right here, is the one that was connected to the products and service. This one is the one that I just added in the category grid. Okay, so now let's take a look at these on our report. So we would expect to see this amount of money coming out of the checking account on the balance sheet because this is an asset. We would expect to see these two numbers added to the expenses on the profit and loss. Let's take a look at the balance sheet first. Balance sheet. Okay, boom, boom. Here's our checking account. I can click this number and see the details. I can see all of those huge numbers, everything that we've just done. I have to scroll to the bottom right here. And let me make this a little bigger. Well, that didn't help, did it? Okay, so where's my head? My head's up in the upper right-hand corner, right? Okay, so you can see here. All right, so here is the money that came in when we sold that gigantic thing to Wedding Planning by Whitney. Here's the money that came into the checking account. And then the money that we just spent on all those things came out of the checking account right here. So we can go, okay, so that's the balance sheet. And now if we go back to the profit and loss, we can see how, if I go to my expenses, look, here's two different expense accounts. The decks and patios, that one was on my expense, and that one was in the category grid. And then this one, the plants and soil, that one was from the items detail grid that went through the products and services, and the soil was listed on the products and services with this account. Okay, let's look at that one more time, and then we'll be done with this. Products and services. I'm going to go to my soil right there. Okay, so that's why here's my soil. Okay, so that's why, and when I put it in the item details grid, when I bought it, sorry, was I mixing up sold and bought just now? When I bought it, okay, that's why it was added to this particular expense account. I'm sorry, that's the income account. This one is the expense account. But it's very similarly named. Oh my gosh, what did I just do? Anyway, here it is right here. I accidentally sorted it. Okay, so there is the plants and soil. That's why it was added to this account on the profit and loss. All right. Phew. All right. And that's all from that little tiny exercise of the week. All right. Now, I assume you guys would have asked questions if you had had more questions. Okay. All right. So, let's talk about one more thing. Let me stop the share, for example, for a minute. Okay. So another thing that comes with the gym are marketing prompts. So I added marketing prompts to the gym because I kept hearing so many people say, I know that I'm supposed to post on social media, but I don't know what to say. And I just kept thinking, how do you not know what to say? You're learning something new every day. Just talk about it. So I decided to add, so as you are working through the gym, then you actually earn marketing prompts. Like as you learn a thing, we tell you, here's what you can post on social media about what you just learned. Okay. And so for the gym, you actually earn those marketing prompts. For the exercise of the week, we just give you one with every exercise. The last couple of weeks, I have been using ChatGPT to generate those like little things. Like, and I have given you, Joel can put it in the chat right now. I did not use it this week. This week I wrote it myself. But you can, if you're interested in learning how to use ChatGPT, you can see the conversation that I had with ChatGPT, how I put the exercise in, I gave it the exercise and I said, write a QBO quick tip about this. And it came up with, something good, whatever. And so anyway, so today's, let me share my screen again. So yeah, so Joel put that in the chat so that you can see. All right, so today's, go back to go back to this. Okay, so here is the, and I wrote it myself because I wanted it to be a little bit more general than what I was afraid ChatGPT would tell me based on the exercise. So, so here's what I'm recommending. So You learned about customizing the products and services list. Here's a sample post, and we're now calling them QBO Quick Tips. Are you frustrated with how things appear in QuickBooks Online? There is so much you can customize. For example, let's clean up that products and services list so you can see exactly what is helpful for your situation. It will only take a few minutes. I've got you. Okay. So, and Joel has put it in the chat, and so you can grab that. So then people, ask, well, what do I what do I do with those marketing prompts? And really, so we teach this one specific method, and Joel can put the link in the chat to the YouTube video, called the 3-2-1 method, which is very simply to always be growing your network. Okay. You have to always be growing your network. Chances of people, like the chances of your first client being somebody that you know right now is pretty slim. So you have to make a focused effort to go out there and meet new people. So you're going to do that 3 times a day. And then twice a week, you're going to post these QBO quick tips. Now, a QBO quick tip is not an ad. Okay. It is not, you're not placing an ad in the newspaper or creating a bulletin board or like whatever and hoping, somebody's going to call you like JJ Wentworth, right? Like, do you guys have, is that a local thing? Anyway, which is, like you're not putting an ad and then expecting that somebody's going to call you from that ad. You're not expecting that, oh my gosh, somebody's going to have this exact problem that I just posted, and they're going to be like, oh my gosh, I have problems with my products and services list. Please help me. So, um, the anyway, so that's not what it's about. It's just a way for you to remind people that you are an expert, that you are a pro advisor. We recommend, I talked today about your level 1 certification, and Joel, I don't think I gave you the link to that, but we recommend that you get your Pro Advisor certification. There is a lot of conversation lately about whether the Pro Advisor certification means anything anymore. And I think that it does, but for different reasons than it used to. It used to be that if when you got your Pro Advisor certification, the best thing was you got listed in the Pro Advisor directory, and they would market and the Intuit would market your business for you, and that you would get leads from the Pro Advisor directory. Unfortunately, thanks, Lindsay. Unfortunately, a lot of people are just reporting spam in their Pro Advisor directory. And it's less useful to be in the Pro Advisor directory. And Intuit is selling its own bookkeeping services. And so they're less going to be although the clients that Intuit takes for their bookkeeping services have to be a specific level. Like if it's too complicated, they're going to recommend that you get a local person. They're not going to take you they're not going to take that client. They're going to say you need, somebody local. So they still do recommend, but it's just not as often. The quality of leads are not good. And I'm seeing in the chat, several people are saying, oh yeah, I've gotten several spam messages, and like, it's very, yeah. So being listed in the Pro Advisor directory is not as valuable as it used to be. But there are two really, I would say 3 really good reasons to still be certified. One is that it's a place for you to collect reviews. So if you, it's just such an easy like landing page so that you can have when people if you just do like a training for somebody, help somebody out and then ask them to write a review, or even better, why did I get out of focus all of a sudden? Okay. Or even better, write the review for them and then say, hey, um, would it be okay if I like use their words or their email or whatever and say, hey, would you mind, does this sound an accurate reflection of us? And would it be okay if, would you post this as a review? And then you give them the site, give them exactly what to say, make it as easy as possible for them. Like anything that is hard, in marketing, we call that friction. So you want to make it as easy as possible for somebody to take an action. So anyway, so number one is reviews are still a really good, it's really good. The second reason that I think that the certification is valuable is because it forces you to learn, um, aspects of QBO that you wouldn't necessarily otherwise encounter. So what I mean by that is that if you're just going to learn on the job, then that client is only going to need specific aspects of QBO. And so you're only going to learn you're only going to learn like what that client is already using. Okay. You don't have the breadth of knowledge. You don't have the breadth of knowledge to say, oh, well, there's this feature in QBO. There's this feature in QBO. There's this feature in QBO. I know for me, my very first client, some of you have heard me tell this story. My very first client required a feature that you only learn about in what's now called level 2. At the time, it was advanced. And if I had not gone through that training, I would not have known that that feature existed. And I would not have been able to say, oh, you need this feature and let me set it up for you and let me use it. So, and that feature, by the way, was projects. Some people ask me. So, yeah, so she was contract based. She had a contract, she had multiple contracts. She really needed to see her profitability with, the different the different based on the different contracts. And so I set up each contract as a project. So then you could, we could track the income and expenses for each one, and you could see the profitability. Anyway, so I was so glad that I had gone through that training. So anyway, so that's like the breadth of it is really why I feel like the certification is still valuable. And then the third reason is because it's something that you can use in your marketing. There is no client who is going to say, I'm only going to hire somebody who is QBO certified. No client is going to say that. That's not a thing. And that's why you'll hear a lot of bookkeepers say, well, I'm not certified and I got lots of work. Okay. Well, that's because no client cares. No client cares. However, in your marketing, if you say that you are a QBO Pro advisor, I feel like that's way more valuable than you saying you're a bookkeeper. Because if you say I'm a QBO Pro advisor, then somebody who has QBO and has questions about QBO is going to connect with you and is going to is more likely to reach out to you, is more likely to talk to you, and have an open mind about you. Whereas if you just say that you're a bookkeeper, they're only going to want to know when you're they're only going to want to reach out to you when they need a bookkeeper. And if you are a pro advisor, they'll reach out to you maybe more times, and you can develop a relationship so that when the time comes that they do need a bookkeeper, they'll turn to you. Okay. Now, if you need help doing this, then we have a cohort that you can, oh, whoa, um, where you can work together with a group of other Acadian students, and you can learn the 3-2-1 method. We teach you how to use LinkedIn. We teach you how to use Canva. We teach you how to set up your Calendly so you can have appointments. We're not in the business of teaching marketing. We're not in the business of teaching marketing. We're not in the business of teaching you like how to set up your business and get sorry, I just got distracted for a second. Like get your EIN number. Like there's lots of programs that are out there that can help you, do all of that. But I like somebody said at the beginning of the call, like my passion, like I want so badly for you to be successful because the world needs more good bookkeepers. With the world is filled with bad bookkeepers. You go out there and you set yourself apart. You be a good bookkeeper. You know what good and bad looks like, okay? You know how to clean up a set of books efficiently. You know the different features in QBO that you can use to make your work more efficient or to be able to have a better report for your clients or whatever. Anyway, off my soapbox. The world needs more good bookkeepers. So if you would like to gather together with other people to learn how to do this, you can join the Getting Clients cohort. And we do all of this, and it's in a group setting. So it's all about like shared goals. It's about getting over yourself, getting over your mental hurdles. It's not just about it. Yes, we do teach you the technical stuff, but so much of people's struggles is just in their brains, trying to like the fear that comes from like putting yourself out there. That's really like we address that as well. So the link, Joel will put the link to the cohort. March is full, but you can sign up for April and get together. And then finally, oh, I don't have it up as a screen share. I'll have to remember to do that next time. But also, if you have ever, I mean, if you enjoyed being with us together, like chit-chatting and like if you enjoy being with other people, being a bookkeeper can be so lonely. I mean, everybody wants to do it because everybody wants, the freedom, but it can also be lonely. So if you enjoy working with other people on a shared goal, we have not only the cohort, but we also have our Acadian Study Hall. An Acadian Study Hall is an opportunity for you to gather together with other people in the community. We have up to 10 slots every week, and it's posted in the, actually, I do have, Joel put the link to the study hall in there, but I do have in the locker room, we have here's what's happening this week at Acadian. So you can see the times for the study hall. You can sign up for the study hall if you want. Anyway, so up to 10 times a week, gather with other people to work on your stuff. Like, how many times have you bought a course and just never done it, right? Like it just sat on the shelf collecting dust. But when you have an opportunity to gather with other people, and they're accountable to you, that you all are accountable to each other. You show up and you set your intentions in the beginning, and then everyone turns their cameras off and works, and then turns their cameras on and celebrates each other and everything that they've been able to accomplish. Anyway, so that is what we have going on. All right, let me just see. Uyi says, I'm so glad for the study hall. Such a great family. Arlene says, I agree. Uyi says, I do not feel like I'm alone in Canada. Um, yeah, it is amazing the time and effort that scammers are putting into messing with us. That's so true. Um, Tracy says the study hall is wonderful and Lindsay is such a great host. Yeah, Lindsay is amazing. I started to say about the when you're posting your QBO quick tips, like that it's not an ad in that you're expecting people to respond to it. And it shouldn't read like an ad, it shouldn't feel like an ad. It is you just waving your flag and reminding people that you are a QBO Pro advisor and at the same time providing them valuable content. Like what I'm begging, oh my gosh, I am begging you. Do not put scammy ads out. I mean, icky, scammy, salesy ads. Like, don't flood your feed with ad after ad after ad. Hire me, hire me, hire me. Like, no, you're putting out valuable content. Look, here, I can help you. Look, here's a tip. Like, like, do this. You want people to want to see you. Facebook has a thing now where they ask you, do you want to see more of things like this? And you can say yes or no. And so like be a yes, like for people. Like don't be the one that people are always like, ugh, close that. No, I'm so sick of seeing that person. No, you want to provide something that's valuable to them. So even if they never sign up, maybe they hear somebody needs a bookkeeper or QBO Pro advisor, and they go, oh, I know somebody. Okay. All right. So let's see. We're wrapped up today. I know you guys, let's see. Lots of love for Lindsay and the study hall. Study hall, yes, study hall is great. All righty. Woohoo. Somebody said focus hours. We used to call them focus hours. We now call them study halls. Um, yes, it's called study hall. Yeah, they are during the day. We do have Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5. So that's the latest one. Um, so yeah, if you would like to host a study hall that is in the evening, then talk to me. All right, let's see. Deborah says, so in your opinion, is it valuable to keep recertifying every year with QBO? Yes, because that's really the best way for you to know like what the new features are. By the way, it is coming to be recertification season, and I usually get a lot of questions this time of year about recertification. Recertification happens if so the certification is seasonal. And by the way, that everything doc that Joel posted in the beginning covers this also. Okay, so if you need a reminder of the whole recertification thing, then grab that document, that ebook. So recertification, so the certification is on a season. So typically it is November 1st through October 31st is into its season. Okay. And so October 31st is the cutoff. This year was weird and the cutoff was actually October 18th. So, but it's a weird year. Hopefully they'll get back into their thing. If you got certified prior to October 18th of last year, then you will have to recertify before June 30th of this year. Okay. Now, recertification is you don't have to fully take all the test again. They just will release a small amount of information. That's basically this is what has changed since you were last certified. And so you just have to learn that little piece of information to keep your certification. And so I say yes, because that again, one of the most important things of certification is not the Pro Advisor directory, it's not the status, but it's the awareness. Like, oh, these are the things. Like, oh, this is what you need to know. Oh, there's this feature happening like this. So yeah, for sure. Okay. Let's see. Thanks for the everything doc again. Oh, except Joel, you put it with the 2Ks again. Let's see. Is there a replay so I can get what I missed of this call? Yes, there will be a replay. Because it's Zoom, we have to wait for it to be processed, but it'll be posted in the events section um, and shortly, and then later it will be on YouTube. And once it's on YouTube, the link that's in the event section won't work anymore because we're eating up all of our space on Zoom, so we can't keep them out there forever. Yes, and Lindsay answered that. Okay, great. Well, guys, we did pretty well today. Like an hour and 40 minutes. Even though we got a little windy some of the time, but most of the time, like, I'm trying to keep it to an hour and a half. And because I know when it goes on 2 hours, like people are like, oh, can we be done already? So anyway, all right. So I think we're going to call it a day. Is the accelerator call next? So the accelerator call is on Thursdays at 1 p.m. So so the next thing on the calendar is will be Monday's study hall. Rain says, what is the best way to study for Pro Advisor certification? I have your level 1 course and it is amazing. I work full time and have ADHD, so it is taking me forever to study for this. Do I study one Intuit lesson first and then study your level 1 course segment that corresponds to the lesson? Any suggestions would be helpful. No, you don't have to study the material. You don't have to study the Intuit material. Just use our material. The thing is, though, that you have to have the Intuit material open so that you can go and do the knowledge checks. Okay. So you don't have to study the Intuit. You don't have to study the Intuit material because yes, it's very dry. And I don't have ADHD, but I do have problems reading. I have a little bit of a brain disorder that makes reading difficult. And so it's very, for some of us, it's very difficult to go through the Intuit material. For some people, because it's free, like that's the way to go. But if you need help, that's why we have our Acadian companion courses that work with the Intuit. So yeah, so just go through our material, then do the corresponding knowledge check, and then take the exam. All right, let's see. Oh, thank you so much for all the love. Can you please mention when the accelerator call occurs? Thursday at 1 p.m. Yep. Okay. Do you recommend we do the accelerator and cleanup courses at the same time? I was already working on the cleanup course before the accelerator. No, accelerator course is first, or accelerator, whatever name we're coming up with, because we do have to change the name. But that is the first course. That is the foundation. That is the springboard for, ooh, maybe that's what we should call it, bookkeeping springboard. That is the foundation the course that you in order to understand cleanup. Cleanup is an advanced course. We expect you to already know. We expect you to already know things. And so accelerator is the deep knowledge that comes before cleanup. But as I mentioned earlier, you should definitely buy even if you're not ready for cleanup, you should definitely buy cleanup while this sale is happening next. I guess there's going to be next Thursday a special deal of some kind. Okay, let's see. I already have my bookkeeping certification. Yeah, it's the the bookkeeping certification is it like pales into in comparison to the accelerator. The accelerator is um is it is a deep knowledge with hands-on practice of exactly what you're learning. So just like we did today, where I didn't just talk about a concept, we actually dug deep and you actually did it. Like we gave you, why do I keep going out of focus? Like I think it's my hand. Let me see. Let me go like this. Maybe it'll bring the focus back to my face. Nope. Well, I guess it'll just look like I'm in a rom-com, I guess. I don't know. Joel's the camera guy, but he's not. He's in another building. So I don't know. I don't know why I'm fuzzy. Sorry. Um anyway, the what was I saying about the Excel, oh, that pales by comparison. Yeah, no, the accelerator is like you learn it out of deep knowledge. Oh, and you do it hands-on. So, like every time you learn a concept, you actually go and do it in the sample company. You see how everything is connected. Just like I showed you how all of those products and services, how they were connected to the accounts, how they were connected to the reports, and anyway, so yeah. Um, let's see. Bookkeeping foundation. Yes, so I really liked the name Foundation Fast Track. Bookkeeping Foundation Fast Track because it is fast and easy. And this is driving me crazy. All right, there. I'm in focus. Woohoo! All right, fixed it. Um, Yeah, yeah, I wanted Foundation Fast Track and my partner hates it. So, because I liked Foundation. Okay, all right. You guys can leave if you want. If you need to leave, you don't have to stay. I know we've lost about 20 people. That's fine. We're just chatting now. But um, so I really liked Bookkeeping Foundation Fast Track because it's bookkeeping because it's foundational, which is what it is, because it's fast track, because we're all designed to get you up and moving quickly. Um, and it's BFF, which is like our whole thing is so that you can be the CPA's best friend. So now you can be the CPA's BFF with the Bookkeeping Foundation Fast Track. But he thought that that was too many words. So so anyway. All right, where were we? Let's see. Lindsay says, if you need more understanding of bookkeeping, then Accelerator will help you with that. If not, you're ready for cleanup. Go ahead. Yeah, that's precisely it. Definitely agree with Margie. I took the Intuit training twice just because I wanted to learn, and the BA course is so much more of a deep dive. I have learned so much more with the BA course. Hey, I like Bookkeeping Foundation. I registered already. Woohoo! I don't know what you registered for, but yay. Margie playing with a focus. I love these calls. I love you too, Tracy. All right. Have you shared about the Turn Messy Books into $6,000 cleanup workshop? Yes, I mentioned it at the beginning. Let's see. If Margie if Margie creates a course, just buy it. It's worth every penny. You guys are so funny. All right, let's see. And learn from me, buy it when it first launches. That's the very best time. Aw. When she starts, Udi says, when she starts teasing us about it, I start looking for my credit card. Oh my gosh, you guys are awesome. All right. let's wrap up. Let's wrap up the call for today. And we, I think I have a 1 o'clock, so I've got to grab a bite to eat. You guys have a fantastic weekend. Everyone wish Joel a happy birthday because his birthday is tomorrow. And I'm going to embarrass him and tell him that beginning tomorrow, he can order off of the seniors menu at Denny's. um, so yeah, but I am older than him, so I'm already ordering off the I'm already ordering off of the senior menu. Oh my gosh. Okay, lots of happy birthdays for you, Joel. Where is the recording? Oh, he's asking about Instagram. Yeah, you notice that I've dropped off Instagram. That's because I had a very tough week and I'm going through some stuff. And I didn't want Instagram to become my place to complain all the time. I felt like it was getting there. And so I was just like, I'm not gonna complain. I'm not gonna complain. And so yeah, so I stopped. But I am gonna pick that back up because I'm paying for a coach and he says I have to post on Instagram 3 times a week or 3 times a day. So I got to do that. Iris is asking, where's the recording? I'm not sure what recording you're talking about because we're still chatting. So once we're done and Zoom processes the recording, we will post it in the events section. And then in a few days, it will be up on YouTube. When it goes up on YouTube, we will delete it from the events section. All right, look at all of these birthday messages for Joel. All right, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. I love you too, June. Okay. All right, guys, that's it. Oh gosh, I keep seeing. Tracy said I had my cart sitting next to me when the accelerator first launched. Oh, you guys are cracking me up. All right. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend, and I will see you next time. I can't wait to hear your success story.